Hello everybody, welcome back to Stationeers. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a short one because I want to just show you something. Obviously we're back on our moon base, and things are ticking along nicely, but we're not actually gonna play. This video isn't about just playing and getting on. I have been doing so. Basically, if you saw the last video, you'll know that we created an outpost and it is on an iron, copper and silicon deposit. However, it took me a long time to get that, and I couldn't help but think if I had just used the rocket map, it may have been easier for me. So I decided to put some time in, and I have gotten the map completed. So the map is now 100% full. Obviously my rocket is up there. We've been doing our thing. What we'll do, now we're finished, let me bring it back down. And then that doesn't have to, well, stay up there really. But yeah, so obviously from this, I am able to, well, kind of see the whole map, which is great. We've obviously got these 3 craters and a couple of craters there. All is good. But I still don't like it. Obviously, as we know, the map is flipped the wrong way around. Like, this corner needs to go all the way to this corner. And also, from a quick glance, the colours probably don't make much sense. Because I think we figured out that pink was silicon. And then somewhere on this map, we've obviously found our iron, copper and silicon. I don't think yellow is gold. That is something else. So I decided to make some changes to the map, and what I wanted to know was, this is obviously an image that is obviously saved in the game files, and it's static. It doesn't change. Like, if I was to start a new save, it would be exactly the same. So I figured there might be just an image file that we can maybe manipulate, and there is. So if you take a look at this, you'll see that it is much different. Now, depending, certain people might not like what I've done. Some people might like what I've done. I personally like this. This is helping me. Let's quickly cover what's changed. The obvious thing is, obviously we've now got icons of the ore and where they are on the map. Now they're a little bit blurry if you get close. There's not much I can do about that. The game seems to put them into a low resolution when you edit or replace the image, is what it is. But it's still quite clear what is what. So obviously we've got gold and silver here. We've got iron, copper and silicon up here. Cobalt, I've got coal there and there. It's a little bit kind of, I personally find it more clear. You could do text if you wanted to, but when I tried text, the text was really blurry. I just didn't like the final product. You could do big text and then just use the 2 codes, like FE for iron, SI for silicon, etc. But not everyone knows them. What everyone does know is what that is. That is clearly iron. Well, as clear as you're going to get it. Got cobalt. So yeah, that's number 1. Number 2, I've put a grid on the map. So each of these squares represents a 200 by 200 meter section. The white dot in the middle is 0, 0. So for every square you move across, you are moving 200 meters. And I've also put coordinates at the top, bottom, right and left. So for example, obviously if we were to go in this direction, we're going towards minus 2000 on the X coordinate. If I went this way, I'd be going minus 2000 on the Z coordinate. What's that noise? Oh, it's my rocket. Welcome home. So that kind of helps. And I have run around the map and I found that this is pretty accurate. Like, I can go to here and know that is exactly where I'm going to be. It's good. It's good. It's bang on. There's also a little yellow dot here. This is where I figured out I am. This may be off by a pixel or 2. It just was where I was stood in the base. But I'm pretty confident that is where I am. And I have tested it, and yeah. And also, I wasn't sure if the colours So like, for example, red here is iron. I wasn't sure if that was the case. I didn't want to just assume. So I did traverse the entire map to kind of get this. So I had my tablet out and I was flying around. And as you can see, I can't remember what I ended on, but I'm now on day 130. It's taken a long time to get this, get the map done and all that kind of thing. The last thing that the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed is that the map is rotated. This crater is now in the top left, whereas previous it was in the bottom right. So the whole map is also rotated 180 degrees. And what I've done is I have positioned this screen. I mean, it probably won't stay here. I mean, it probably will, who knows. But I've positioned it so like facing that way is north. So as you can see, the compass at the bottom, this is 0 degrees. I've got that way, which for me is west, south, east. And the map is also in that orientation as well. So I know that if I want to get to here, I need to head in that direction. I know that my outpost is over in that direction. And because it's iron, copper, and silicon, I ended up there, which I'm a bit annoyed at myself because, based on where I live, this was a short distance away. But we're set up here now, and it is what it is. We're gonna deal with that, and we're gonna just move on, and eventually we'll figure out how to get this stuff from there easily. But yeah, I just thought I'd show this as a really, well, I mean, I personally prefer this. I'm gonna set my own rule that I have to uncover the entire map before I do this. I'm not just gonna go into the game files and do this on all the maps because it's a bit cheaty. I don't want to see the maps until I've uncovered them. That's a personal preference. Obviously, do what you want. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've done. Now, for anyone who's interested, the next part of the video is going to be showing you how I've done that. Not everyone will want to know, so if you don't want to know, then obviously feel free to end the video here. But if you do want to know, then just stay where you are, and we'll go through it. Okay, so we're at my desktop, and I'm going to show you basically what I did. So the first thing was, I will mute my phone because you're going to hear that in the background. So the first thing is, you're not going to know. I mean, I didn't Google this. I kind of figured it out. And at one point, I did kind of break the game. So obviously, whenever you're manipulating game files, just bear in mind that you shouldn't be doing it. And if you're unsure of something, you probably just leave it alone. However, I kind of have a whatever you break, you can probably fix approach. So I did try some things, broke some things, and then I figured out what I actually needed to do. I have no doubt that people have probably made a mod for this. No doubt whatsoever. But I don't know how to mod, nor do I want to use a mod. I am happy doing this my way, and then I can have the map looking however the hell I want. So the first thing I needed to do was I needed to figure out where these maps were. And in all honesty, I just navigated through all the folders manually. But I'll show you where it is. Now, obviously, this will differ because I use Steam. I know that not everyone uses Steam. But for me to get to my game files easily, I'll right-click on Stationeer, Manage, Browse Local Files. If you're not using Steam, then obviously you'll need to manually locate, well, get to wherever the files are. For me, they're in my C drive, and yeah, in Steam, Steam app, and Stationeers. From here, go to Rocket Station Data. If you don't see BipNX, it's because you haven't got any mods installed. So if you don't see that, don't worry about it. It's not part of the main Stationeers installation. But you should have a Rocket Station Data. So go into this folder, go into Streaming Assets, and then go to Worlds. And in here, you've got a world for you've got a folder for every single world. Now, like I said, I haven't got into the rest of them. I don't want to go into the rest of them. I'm going to play the map, and then I will come in here and do what I've done. But for me, I'm playing on Luna, so go into whatever world you're playing. And then in here, you've got textures. And what you will find is multiple PNGs, and these are the height maps that the game uses. Now, for me, I thought they were just PNGs. So my original thinking was, oh, well, to start with, why don't I just rotate all of these? So you can right-click. If you're in Windows 11, I can rotate right, and then I can rotate right. Now, remember, if you're messing with gaming files, do not have the game open. Make sure your game is closed, because when you open the game, it will initialize all of its files. If you do this while the game's open, I don't know what it's going to do. Don't do it. Now, you might be tempted just to do that and go, yay, I've rotated my map. It makes a bit more sense. Do not do this. I cannot stress this enough. I rotated every single one of these files, just thinking, oh, it'll be that easy, piece of piss. I then realized that the game is physically using these PNGs to decide where the ores, where the regions are. Like it's not just a reference point that's used by the developers or anybody. The game is literally using this image file. So I got very confused because I went to where my outpost was, and bear in mind I rotated all of these, and I could not find my outpost. Also, when I went to where I thought my outpost was, the region was only silicon. It was no longer iron, copper, and silicon. I completely screwed it up. Luckily, I had an autosave. So I went back and, well, I rotated all these back, reloaded, and everything was fine. So I very easily screwed it up. But basically, yeah, the coordinates of the world are the same, but this literally changes what's below you. Interestingly, though, I don't know what would happen if I was to paint this entire thing pink. Like, would that mean that the entire map is silicon? I don't know. I wouldn't recommend doing that personally. Obviously, the files are here. You mess with things, you risk breaking things, so kind of make sure you're comfortable with what you're doing. But yeah, this doesn't work. So I'm going to rotate this back and rotate it back. So it's back where it was. No harm done. Now in the game, you have the computer and you have the button that says toggle deep minables. And what it does is the mini map here. Bear in mind, this won't be called this. I've renamed that. So this won't be. This is the map. So when you click on toggle minables, this file is that grey, white, and black file that you see. When you click on toggle minables, it overlays this with this, so you actually see both maps. And I thought, okay, so what that means then is if I was to turn this one off, I could manipulate this one, because this is just a mini-map. This one, from what I understand from my testing, does not really affect the game in any way. So this one, you can rotate. So I went turn right, turn right. All right, and this is the one that's called Lunar_Mare_Mini_Map. My personal advice, do not touch the rest of these files. Just leave them alone. The game is literally probably using every other one of those. This one is, from what I understand, is solely visual in the game. So what we'll do, all I've done is rotate that file. That's it. Now what we'll do is we'll go back into Stationeers and let's have a quick look at how it looks. Okay, so we're back into the game. So let's load in. And let's just see what rotating that file has done. Okay, so you can see there, as we're looking at it, it looks a bit odd because you've got these little patterns that kind of weren't there originally. You can see we've got a crater there, but that's because on the computer, this is how I realized that those two files overlay each other. If I turn off the deep minables, there's the file that I rotated. So obviously this overlaying doesn't work, but rotating this does work, and I might be wrong, but from rotating this does not affect the game whatsoever. The coordinates seem to be the same, the deep regions seem to be the same, everything is absolutely fine. So my thought process was, okay, if I can rotate that file and not affect the game, is this the file that I can manually edit? Because this is just a picture. I could scribble on this if I wanted to, and this would still show up in the game like this. So my next point was, okay, let's go and see if we can edit this, shall we? So what I'll do is I'll show you my GIMP file. I didn't get the map from online. I literally rotated this, then I edited this, and I came up with this. And there we go. So this is the PNG file after I've edited it. So what you can tell straight off the bat, you can see, well, the actual original file is black, white, and grey. So why have you done all the colors? Well, I kind of decided that in game, I'm never going to use that overlay feature. Personally, I don't see the point. I know some people will like having that in the game, at which point don't do this if you want to have that image in the game. But from my testing, it's the only file that you can really edit without causing any massive issues. So this is, I lose the ability to do the overlaying game. For me, I'm absolutely fine living with that. So for anyone who doesn't know what this is GIMP. This is a free, well, it's an open source image creation and manipulation tool. It's what I use for all the thumbnails on the channel. And yeah, I basically created this file. So I've got my grid, I've got my ores, I've got the map, etc., etc. And if anybody is interested, I'm happy to do a quick video on how I created this, how to get the grid lines and all that kind of stuff working. But that's not what this video is. This video is just to show solely, I can't get my words out, show you what I've done and how I got there. Basically, I created this image. Obviously, the ores are screenshots taken from Stationeers, and then I've obviously taken out the grey background. They were taken from the Stationpedia, and then I've just kind of put them in. And if for those of you who don't know, GIMP is basically a layer tool. Like, you have multiple layers in here. So if I was to like hide some of these layers, you'll notice that they all start disappearing from the map. And basically, all you do is you create layer on layer on layer on layer until you come out with an image that you're happy with. It took me a little while to do this because obviously I was building the map as I was flying around the moon to try and identify what was what. I could have very easily identified each color and then just copied and pasted what I was doing, but I didn't know whether each color did represent the same ore. I wasn't sure. So I did go to every single region. But there, so that's basically what you end up with. You then applied some horizontal lines, then applied some vertical lines, and then I slowly but surely started applying each of the layers. And that is how we ended up with this file. So basically, all you need to do, and what I did, was obviously I knew that this was the file that I had to amend. However, I kind of wanted more like this. I wanted the colors. So I took a guess and said the game is probably looking for this name and then doing what it needs to with that name. So all I did was create a copy of this file, and I have like a copy of the finalized one on my desktop there. All I did was create a copy of this. I created a backup of this file just in case, because you never know what's going to go wrong. And then I renamed my copy to this. Then in the game, I basically, when I tested at that point, I had this twice. One where it was rotated this direction, and one where it was rotated the other direction. So obviously I could see that the overlay was screwing it up. And I'll go back into the game and I'll show you what I mean. But basically, all you need to do is copy this file, or create a whole new file. You don't have to do this. Any PNG you put in here with this name will be loaded by the game. All I would suggest is ensure that the dimensions are 512 by 512. Don't go any higher than that because you don't want to screw it up. You can probably go less than that, but I wouldn't. If you want, what you could do as an option is, let's say if I open this one up for a second, excuse me. So obviously this is the map, and all I did was basically I opened it in GIMP. I rotated the entire thing 180 degrees. That's all my stuff. But what you could do is, in theory, you could make the map a little bit smaller, try and keep it square, and then you could add a key. You could say you could write like purple equals silicon. No, it doesn't. Ignore me. Yeah. Wait, yes, it does. No, wait, I'm confused because the map's upside down. This is why I rotated it, because I'm simple. Yellow, you could have a key. Yellow equals iron, copper, silicon. Brown equals gold and silver. Etc. etc. Purple is the coal. This blue is the cobalt. I kind of know this dark green is the silver. The light blue is the silicon. So because I've gone through it, I kind of know what all the colors are now. But you could do whatever you wanted to do with this. It doesn't have to remain in this format. But just remember that whatever you do, you are gonna lose the ability to do the overlay. And let me quickly hop back into the game, and I will show you what I mean. Okay, so we're loading into the game. Obviously, it's loading all of our changes in. And there we go. So obviously, I haven't done the thing. Let me quickly go and replace that file. I'll show you, actually. Let me head back over to my desktop. So obviously, the idea is that we want to replace this file. Now, I already have a copy of my completed file here on my desktop. And all I'm going to do is basically I'm going to copy this into this location. Now, make sure you've got a backup of this. So it's the Lunar, well, obviously whatever world you're playing on, but mine is Lunar Mare Minimap. I'm going to delete that file. I have a backup, so it's okay. Then all you want to do is you want to put your finalized version in there and make sure it's named to the same. So I'm just going to remove the one because that's how I've got copies on my desktop. And there we go. That's it. It's that easy. Okay, so basically all I did was I copied this file onto my desktop, manipulated it, and then job done. Now I do need to rotate that one back because like I told everybody, do not rotate this. This is not good. Leave this as it is. Do not touch this or any of these or any of these. The only one you want to be manipulating is the original one that was there. Otherwise, you're going to have problems. Don't believe me? Go and try it. But just bear in mind that if you mess with game files and you don't know what you're doing, you're probably going to break something. So either keep a record, keep a backup, know what you did, or just uninstall, reinstall the game. And that should sort out any problems that you've caused yourself. But now that we've got both of these in, let me go and show you how the overlay looked. So when I first load in, this is how it looks. It's an absolute mess. And you can't do anything about that. Like I said, that first file, if you wanted it to look pretty, you would have to rotate it, but don't do that because it will screw up your regions. But I'm happy with this because I can just click this button and it removes the minor balls. So obviously the game is thinking that this is the only way that it's going to show you minor balls. This should be overlaying the black and white image, but remove that overlay and this is technically the black and white image. And I can live with this. I have got no problem with this whatsoever. I don't care about that. This is the same image. I don't care about the black and white image. It's a personal preference. Some people don't like this. Some people won't do this. Some people are probably thinking like, you shouldn't do this. This is against the rules. Play it how you want to play. I personally will be doing this on all future saves. I will just to make it easy for me, I will have my computer on a wall that is like this, so it makes sense. So I can know that way is northwest according to the map, and I've also got my coordinates so I can work it out. And as a final note, let me just prove to you that it works. So we are located here. So we are at roughly 2, 4. So let's say we're at negative 550x. And we are at a positive almost 200z. So if I get my thing out, there you go, look, negative 566, so not far off from negative 550. And we're slightly, okay, so we're slightly more than the line, so I've kind of not got it perfect. Basically, that yellow is should probably be a little bit lower, but that's fine. That's just because I was up here when I was doing the picture, I think. That's where I put it. I think I was outside. I can't really remember. It was ages ago. But it's pretty close. And let's go out somewhere. Let's go to a place and let's just figure it out. So let's quickly go to where would be a good test. You know what? Let's go to that silver because that is a very small crater within this section. So we basically need to go. I mean, we're talking 100x, and then on the Z, let's go to negative 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, if we get to like 800, so negative 800 on the Z, and then a positive 100 on the X. So let's get my suit on, and let's go and have a quick look. Now, my memory is shocking, which means I've already forgotten where I'm going. Excuse me. So 200x, and then basically I want to head north. And what will happen is if we go to the 200x first, we should hit a tip of the cobalt, although we probably won't because we're down here. So we're going to end up going through gold and silver, then we're going to end up going through lead, then coal, and then nickel. So keep an eye on what I've said and let's test it. So first things first, go west until we get to just before 200x. And to be fair, it won't take us that long. But because I've got the map in that direction, I don't even need my tablet. I know I can go this direction. I know I can go west to get to where I want to go. And I feel like this just makes it so much easier for me to understand and just to know where the hell I am. Obviously, another option would be Oh, you know what? That's probably a much better idea. Because you can put the map motherboard in the laptop, I believe. I don't know how it's going to look. I haven't tried that, but let's have a quick look, shall we? Cancel. Give me that board. Yeah. Go in there. You go on the floor. So can I... Oh, you beauty. And actually, it looks clear on here as well. So screw it. Let's do this. Oh, no, 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 no. Get your face over there. Get your face over there. Alright, we'll do this then. Screw it. So, like I said, we're here. So we need to get to what I think is about a positive, what did I say? Positive 150. Yeah, let's go positive 150 on the X. So we're going to keep going this way. I will put my tablet in my other hand, and I can just flick between the two. Alright, I will quickly speed this up. So you can see at the moment that we're in silver. So that we're in that green strip at the moment, which is absolutely fine. We know we're going the right way. So shortly after this, we should end up in a place where we get gold and silver. And as you can see there, we got gold and silver. So next, we're probably going to just scrape by the lead. So we're probably expected to see that in a second. And the lead we should see come in, to be honest, probably around the 0x mark. So a little bit closer to 0 than what we are now. I do not have enough jetpacks, so I need to keep an eye on that. Alright, so any second now, we should get the lead, I think. Or I wonder if we're just going to scrape past it. Oh, okay, we must be just above the lead, because now we've got cobalt. So yeah, so we're basically, we're on that line, so we've just basically missed the lead. But that's fine. If I keep going this way a little bit more, we're going to get coal. There we go. There's our hydrocarbon. So as you can see, the map is, even not knowing exactly where my coordinates, just getting a rough coordinate, it's helping me traverse the map much easily. But now if we go to X 150, which we are there now, and now I know that even without looking at the coordinates, I know I just want to go north. And I know that because I've got my map oriented the way it is, that way is now north. So, if I go this way, we're going to come across a nickel region. But probably not before we hit that cobalt, because that cobalt is slightly slanted, that region. So let's see. Alright, so we've hit iron. So why has that happened? If we have a look here, basically we were somewhere around here, so we have moved into this coordinate here. Now our coordinates are currently, Z is negative 42. So if you look at the Z, we're going negative. So we're not much over this middle line here. And then our X, if you remember, we're currently on 154. So each of these is 200. So it's basically, yeah, we're about here, which makes sense. We're in the iron. If I was to go to the east a little bit, we'll run back into the cobalt. So that's east because I'm going 90. You can also, I figured this out, like east is equals the earth. E for earth, E for east. Maybe other people just knew that, but yeah, for me, I'm a little bit simple. But there you go, look, we've hit the cobalt. So now I'm going to head north again. And because we've hit the cobalt, we'll probably just graze the silver. So we're going to head back to X 150. And then we'll just increase the Z by heading north. So, like I said, we need to get to 2, 4, 6, 8, just shy of 800. Oh, sorry, just after 800 on the Z. And we should be in that silver. We've now just entered the nickel deposit, which is fine. We're expecting that. So now, come on, silver. Okay, so I ran out of jetpack, so I'm having to leg it over there now. But in a second or two, we should hit that silver crater. Because we've just hit the 800. We're at about 150. And now you can see, there we go, look, we're walking into the crater and we've hit silver. So even if this is not, I'm pretty confident this is pretty accurate. But even if it's off, it's bloody close. And I know now I am there. So yeah, basically this was just a quick video to show you what I've done and just to give you an option. I don't actually need to use the map to get home because I've got a beacon, so let's just do that. And yeah, do that. But yeah, basically just showing you that this is an option available to you. Again, I cannot stress this enough. If you mess with game files, if you're not sure what you're doing, just don't touch them. I ain't taking no responsibility for it. I've played with it. I did break it, but then I put it all back together and then I figured it out myself. Feel free to do it, but don't come. If you break something and can't fix it, don't come at me saying, ah, because I'm literally telling you you shouldn't really be messing with gaming files. But it's an option that is there if you want to have a go. Worst case scenario, if you absolutely knacker it up, reinstall the game. And if you don't want to do this, if you want to just play with the maps as they are in the game, go for it. Like, I'm not saying you have to do this. This is just an option. If you don't take anything else from the video, take what the colours mean. So, obviously, if you want to figure it out yourself, then maybe you shouldn't watch this video. But yellow, copper, iron, and silicon. That's what you're going to find there. Red is iron. Purple is coal. Pink is silicon. Light blue is silver, lead, and nickel. Dark green is silver. Light green is nickel. This kind of browny, orangey, reddy, whatever color this is gold and silver. If you want to find gold by itself, it's the very dark kind of brown. And then, yeah, that's pretty much all the colors. Now, I know that some people told me different colors, so I don't know if like other people have got different colors of the maps. Maybe each map has its own color key. If that's the case, then this only applies to the moon. I don't know if that is the case. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, this is working for me on the lunar map, and we're all good. So I'm just going to jog home because I've got no jetpack. But yeah, hopefully you got something from this. As an absolute minimum, remember you can rotate it, and that's a thing, and it might just help you. But yeah, go and have a play. Go and create your own map and put it in, and yeah, just do whatever's easier for you. So until next time, take care. Bye.